Welcome. This is another of the Pack Scout videos. This is the first one for 2025, but not the last by any means. There's a series of 3 or 4 that are interrelated that I'm going to be presenting in the next couple of days. So we're starting today with convenience and the impact of convenience on sustainability. There's also going to be one talking about overconsumption and then one on specifically what's happening in sustainable packaging for the next 10 years. So let's start. I look at the sustainable industry. So convenience is king. In the pursuit of convenience, which is a wonderful tool in engaging with consumers, the packaging industry has unintentionally created a pretty significant culture of consumer complacency. So convenience as king has driven innovation, it's shaped packaging, it's led to all sorts of things like on-the-go formats, easy to use, easy to open, easy to reseal. However, this progress is leading to a number of materials and products that are hard to recycle, if not impossible to recycle responsibly. And it's tangling up consumers in excessive choice and a very complex waste stream. So the focus of convenience against lightening the footprint and resource efficiency is something that's producing what I refer to as a false king. Why you should care. So the main reason is the hidden cost of convenience. So while it has revolutionized consumer behavior, it's made products more accessible, it's made them easier to carry or use, and they're much easier to use or engage with. But environmentally and economically, it has caused a number of issues. It's led to a lot of single use designs that dominate this landscape. So they're used once and then just thrown into the ground. Multi-layered plastics or composites, non-recyclable composites. All of these are things that have difficulty, if not outright impossibility, to be recycled or reused or refilled. And in addition, there can be contamination in the recycling streams or outright neglect. So the abundance of options as well, whether it's from a varied product size to niche configurations, drives inefficiency in manufacturing and the supply chain. Every time there's a new stock keeping unit, an SKU, it requires its own unique production runs, packaging designs, tailored distribution strategies, material sourcing and use, all of which just mounts up the operational inefficiency or the opportunity for there to be a bottleneck or a difficulty or something that is just leading to more inefficiency. So the convenience that we have been driven to expect from packaging is now creating a bit of a logistical and environmental burden for society. Standardization is one of the simplest ways of addressing it, and simplification as well. Ultimately, if you have 2 instead of 3 variations to a product line, the impact of that change is pretty significant, and it doesn't require a huge amount of focus or energy in order to make that change. It just requires that a change is implemented. So you can save costs. If you've got fewer production runs, there's less downtime, there's fewer raw materials that are being consumed or used, there's reduced energy or resource consumption. So even as simple as taking a 250 milliliter, 500 milliliter, 750 milliliter and liter bottle design and just having 3 of those instead, that's enough to save a proportionally fairly significant amount of materials and energy consumption. If you improve the recycling or the reuse or refill options, simplified packaging materials and formats help make that easier, both for the recycling facilities to process waste effectively, but it also opens up an opportunity for refill or to be higher up in the waste hierarchy pyramid to take advantage of more uniform sizes or formats of packaging. So again, the simpler the material or bottle design is, the easier it is for it to be used by everybody. And then responsibility. If there's a clear, consistent design, which helps a consumer to understand how to repurpose or dispose of that packaging properly, it can make a significant difference. And moreover, if it is in fact even more convenient or very easy to dispose of correctly, that is another area that will help to reinforce that positive behavior change. At the moment, most of us don't really want to have too many extra steps to disposing of something properly, so we don't tend to as a result. But if there's a way of making it easy or making the process a bit more intuitive, then there's going to be more likelihood that people actually do it. This is not a theory conversation we're having at the moment. There are companies that are actually demonstrating that reduced packaging choices can yield significant sustainability benefits. So, for example, in Unilever's case, they've committed to halving their use of virgin plastic by 2025. Oops. So in Unilever's case, the company is committed to halving its use of virgin plastic by 2025. So a notable initiative is the simplification of cleaning products packaging, such as a move towards using concentrated refills. So the approach reduces the need for multiple bottle formats, but it still offers consumers a practical and easy to use solution. Another great example is IKEA, who are known for their sustainability efforts. They've transitioned to using flat pack designs and streamlined packaging for all of their products. So this reduces any excess material. It focuses on uniformity, and they've cut transportation emissions and packaging waste significantly, while enhancing the efficiency of being able to move their products through the supply chain to consumers. Nestle is another example. They have a constant focus on simplification and reducing waste. They shifted some of their water brands to a uniform water bottle design, so it's fully recyclable, it uses less plastic. The change not only reduced the manufacturing complexity, it also improved recycling rates across its packaging. Similarly, Coca-Cola have also taken the step of introducing a universal bottom design for some of its brands, which allows it to improve recycling system and reduce costs. So because the bottles are standardized, it's easier to collect, recycle, and put them into new packaging. So how do you go about unringing the bell of convenience? Because this is something that has been developed over decades in terms of learned and improved consumer behavior. So there is a multi-pronged approach that would probably do best. First, it's clear messaging. Brands have to lead with transparent communication. So they have to highlight the environmental impact of excessive packaging and the benefits of simplification. The campaigns really need to focus on collective responsibility to reduce waste. So the companies are going to do their part by reducing the waste that is required to make the product. And then consumers hopefully do their part by making sure it returns to the most appropriate waste stream once they've used it. Strategies like deposits for reusable packaging, incentives for recycling, penalties for improper disposal, they also can help to nudge better behavioral activities. For policy interventions, governments can enforce regulations that limit packaging options, they can mandate recyclability, they can standardize labeling to remove confusion from the recycling process. Overall, regulations and policy interventions have a very strong ability to be able to ensure that the whole market is aware of how best to dispose of and use products. And then collaboration. whether it's a manufacturer, a brand owner, retailers, everyone's needs to work together to align goals and innovate in a way that supports sustainability without compromising functionality. So it's not about taking away the convenience. So it's about empowering them, consumers, to make informed and responsible choices. If we shift the narrative from consumption to collaboration, it's possible to transform consumers into co-creators on this sustainable future. So consumers have to be invited into the conversation. They have to be offered transparency. They have to be offered the ability to help design solutions that align with their values. If they are made aware of their behavior and their solutions that are given to them to course correct, most will do so. Access and knowledge tend to be the two key levers that allow people to change or improve their behavior. And less choice helps them to make those decisions a lot more easily as well. Paralysis of choice is usually we have too many options to consider. So we can normally choose from 2 to 3, but ideally from 1 or 2. But if we start having 5, invariably we're not going to make a decision to begin with. So if I used to choose 200 grams of cheese or 1 kilogram of cheese, now I've got 100 or 200 or 300 or 500 or 700 or 1 kilogram. I just don't buy it anymore because my brain doesn't allow me to make that choice quick enough. So by the time I would have made it, I've moved on to the next thing on my shopping list, and I've continued. So there is a unique opportunity to help lead this cultural shift. If we prioritize fewer choices, we embrace simplicity, we're not only reducing the environmental impact, but we're also fostering a more mindful consumer base. So if we're able to reduce the footprint, the waste, and help people make better decisions, all of this allows us to have a more efficient and sustainable packaging market. So it's time to redefine convenience, not as an end in itself, but as a stepping stone towards more sustainability and shared responsibility. So let's try and ring a new bell, one that resonates with the harmony of simplicity, accountability, and progress. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this video.